It's time for another Sandia Mountain Natural History Center quick trip. I don't have a favorite state park, but if I did, Sugarite Canyon State Park would be right near the top of the list. It's an awesome combination of history, great hiking, scenic views, mountains, lakes, and even a stream. So let's go ahead and explore this awesome little gem in New Mexico. Sugarite State Park has a variety of trails, and as a history nerd, one of the interesting trails is the coal camp trail that goes through the old mining town that was here. There were people from about 30 different countries living in these coal camps and coal towns up until the 1940s when the mine closed. And all the building materials and all from the coal town were salvaged and used to build many of the buildings that are in modern day Raton today. I literally just about stepped on this guy. This is a huge bull snake or gopher snake. Whew. My heart rate is sky high. I literally just stepped over him. Almost stepped on him. There's a couple things that'll help you identify this as a bull snake and not a rattlesnake. The shape of the head is one. That is not like a pit viper type head shape. And if we follow him all the way down, it's amazing. This guy's about 4 feet long. And we get to the tail, there's no rattles. Although these bull snakes will often slap their tail in the weeds very, very quickly. Now, this guy's not moving much. He's not very afraid of me. He is definitely alive. But I think he was sunning himself and it's cooled off a bit. So maybe he's a little bit lethargic, I'm not sure. But I appreciate him standing so still for me. Or lying still, or whatever it is a snake does. So this is the site of the Sugarite schoolhouse. So if you had been living here between 1912 and 1941, this is where you would have went to school. Sure, it was in a little better shape back then. This is one of the teachers at Sugarite, but the amazing thing is, and the fascinating thing at least to me, is that this was used as an outdoor classroom for teaching geology and botany. So maybe we can learn from the past. Well, this is probably what everybody tuned in for. Some scat. In this case we got bear scat, but what's interesting here are the seeds in there. Those look like apricot seeds. And you may be wondering, well, how's that possible? Apricots aren't native. But remember, this was an old coal camp. People were probably planting apricot seeds for the fruit, and while the camp may not be here, those trees do remain, and they remain a nice food source for the local bears. Just means I'll have to be careful camping tonight. The park's visitor center is the only remaining building from the days of the Sugarite coal town site, and this was previously the post office. Well, that's where we're going. Now, come on, how steep can it be? But one funny kind of thing is Little Horse Mesa, 0.13 to the top of the mesa. Little Horse Mesa, 0.25. Wonder which one it is. We shall find out. So we just topped out on the top of Little Horse Mesa, and I have to admit I was not expecting this. What a beautiful open meadow up here. This is the view from the top of Little Horse Mesa. If you look way off in the distance, I believe that's Calpulan Volcano National Monument. This area has a lot of volcanoes and volcano history. If we pan around, even right back here, I'm not sure what that's called, but there's a little volcano right there. And all this rock that we're on is volcanic in nature. I'm not sure when this all erupted and when this all got here, but just another area of New Mexico that's been greatly affected by volcanic activity. Either somebody spilled a box of milk duds, or we've come across some elk scat. I'm gonna go with the elk scat. This is a perfect habitat with this huge meadow up here for elk. So we found this puffball here. I'm not an expert on puffballs. Another type of fungus. Let's see if we can get it to puff. Oh yeah. That dust coming out are spores. And they'll go out and eventually make new puffballs. I wasn't even looking for a geocache or anything, but I just happened to come across one. But I'm the first person here since December 4th of 2021. So it's been almost a year since someone else has been to this spot on Little Horse Mesa. I believe I read that this area burned in 2011. Kind of hard to get a good overall look. How about we launch the drone and see what it looks like? The trees may not like fire, but boy, the woodpeckers really like the aftermath. And I guess the insects that they're after like it too. So I just spent about the last 20 minutes watching two huge elk. I tried to get a little closer to get a shot. And then when they walked away, I thought I could launch the drone and get real high so they couldn't hear and fly back, but I was not successful. Sorry to you guys, but I think it's an important thing. I just came out here, thought it was good habitat, and just sat quietly, and then within 10 minutes in the wood line over here, I saw what I thought was a big boulder, and then the boulder moved, kept moving. And when I looked at it with the binoculars, it turned out to be that elk. It's a really cool experience. Sorry you guys didn't get to see it, but I think the lesson here is if you go out in nature and you're patient, just sit and wait, and you're bound to see something. So I just found this vertebrae. It's really hard to say what it is. Maybe a deer. I would go with a deer. But one of the interesting things is Looking along the back here, this has all been kind of chewed off. One of the interesting things is rodents will a lot of times be the ones that chew that off to help sharpen their teeth and wear their teeth down. So even though it's a dead animal, it's a bone, it's still contributing to the ecosystem. We're gonna have some campfire green chili stew. So the first thing we gotta do is roast our green chili. Alright, now for the real test. We'll see how it is. Very good. Morning, somewhat colder than I expected, but it's not a bad view to wake up to. I guess it's time to get rolling. Sugarite Canyon is about 200 miles north of Albuquerque, just a few miles shy of the Colorado border. And this water birch turning red is a sure sign that fall, even though it's only mid-September, is just around the corner. This is Lake Maloya, the Sugarite Canyon State Park. It's a beautiful place.